And
Go ahead.
speaking about Susan again, when we lived down the street from her, she was doing triathlon stuff, you know, she's a triathlete, and she would come to my pool and tie her feet to my diving board and then swim with her feet tied, you know, because she was running and biking, so she felt like she had her lower body, you know, working pretty good, but she wanted to get the swim down, you know, so she would tie her feet to the diving board and jump in the pool and then just swim against the rope, you know.
Oh, great idea.
Champion.
Yeah.
Only Susan, right?
Yeah, I miss her.
Okay, well, so I started recording just so everyone knows. So tonight, before we actually get into our meeting, I wanted to introduce our new sponsors for this year and let them talk a little bit and tell you a little bit about themselves. We've seen from our jerseys that we have two new sponsors. One is pretty well known in the community, Soccer Loco, and has been on our jerseys before. And we have a new one this year called Q Sciences. And I'm going to let them tell you about their products, but I've been pretty impressed with them, and I'm excited that they've come on board as a sponsor. So Mariel, I will stop sharing and I will turn it over to you and Jessica. And then John, when they're done, if you want to say something, you're welcome to say something as well.
Well, thank you.
John, did you want to go first, actually?
Well, you know, yeah, let me just kick it off by saying thank you, Mariel, and the rest of the Rancho Santa Fe board for having us along all these years. I'm pushing almost 3 decades in this business between, you know, coaching, managing teams, being on boards, and then opening Soccer Loco up like 26 years ago, I guess. So it's been a nice journey for us to be alongside of our clubs and some of our favorite people and lifelong friends like we have here. You know, being that Soccer Loco is what I like to believe is kind of the mainstay and the staple of our community. That's what we strive for. We want to be synonymous with your missions. I've looked around for a long time to try and find a complementary company that we could be proud of to put our name alongside. And we have found it finally. So the Q Sciences is a revolutionary product, which I will not begin to try and explain to you. Jessica, my daughter, and Mariel, my cousin-in-law, do a fabulous job with that. I want to just bring it to Central that this is not only a revolutionary product, but it is an insane and awesome fundraiser, not only for the club, but for your team and for you personally, if you wanted to dive in with and try and earn an extra income. The link on the Rancho Santa Fe Attack website takes you right to all of the information that you need to know. Jessica and I both are living in your community, and we are available 24/7 for any Soccer Loco or now Q Sciences needs. So thank you again for having us. And Mariel and Jessica will take it from here. And again, if there's anything that you need, you know where to reach us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica. I'm John's daughter. I'm going to play a super short role right now, but I am going to be your face if you need anything Soccer Loco, Q Sciences wise in the community. When you call, email, this is me, this is who you will get. I have been with Soccer Loco from the beginning, and I am so excited that I have jumped on board with Q Sciences. I get to work with my cousin-in-law, I guess is what we distinguished her as, but she's more than that. She's a wonderful friend. She's a wealth of knowledge in this industry. She's been with Q Sciences for 4+ years. A mom of soccer players, an athlete herself. She used to own gyms here in San Diego. She's helped multiple professional athletes, clubs, you name it, transition their health and wellness. And so I would love to introduce you to Marielle, who will just share all the wonderful things about Q.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. And I'm excited to say hi and meet everybody and share a little bit about what's happening, here and what Q Sciences even means for everybody that might have never heard of it before. But Q Sciences is basically just short for Quintessential Biosciences. I actually have a couple of slides I'll pull up just to kind of give you an overview of what's happening. So John, obviously, you guys know just what a big thinker he is and an entrepreneur he is. And Jessica obviously has been learning a lot, and it's kind of hard not to when you have a father like that. I know, because I come from entrepreneurial parents. And this is just something unique that I know he's been on the hunt for. I've actually approached him in the past with other things and it wasn't quite right. This one happens to be right. So really kind of cool that it worked out. I've been in the health and wellness industry for 20 years. I did own gyms for 13 years, nutritionist, meal plan company for a while there. And we actually relocated to Park City, Utah. We do live in San Diego often as well too, but we're not local day to day like these guys are. So they would definitely be your point of reference for, of course, Soccer Loco. I don't have anything to do with Soccer Loco, but I do with Q Sciences. So I'm more of extra support as well. Jessica knows a ton about the products, the company history. The reason why I was drawn to the company, I was actually very heavily recruited to come to this company. And that's kind of what I do. I've been in online sales ever since I sold my gyms. And that was, it's been almost 10 years that I've been doing this full-time online sales with a couple different companies. This company I've been with now is just blown me away with what they have put out in terms of production. Typically health and wellness companies, GNC, Vitamin Shop, Costco, there's no studies done on any of those products whatsoever. We know vitamin C is good for us. We know vitamin D is good for us. Even in San Diego, we need vitamin D, right? Now you've heard about CBD, collagen, all the latest trends in science. Quintessential Biosciences decided to not only come out with the best of the best, but making sure that there's a lot of research, science, proving that this is going to be the right, product line. And it's pretty imperative now going forward to make sure we know where sourcing comes from. Unfortunately, 90% of the world's vitamins do come from China, where there's no regulatory standards whatsoever. 95% of vitamin C is sourced in China. We don't source anything other than here in the United States, except for one ingredient we have to get in India, which the world has to get turmeric in India for it to be the high quality sourced kind. And then everything else is here in the United States, made in the United States. Actually, a big reason why we relocated to Utah is we could actually get to the corporate headquarters, warehousing, manufacturing, meet with formulators. And that was a big reason why my husband and I wanted to come out this way for an adventure. We do ship into 24 international markets. We've had record sales. We're actually #1 fastest growing company online. And just for your own knowledge, this might be of interest to you, but the reason why it's of interest to me is I need to know the products are working for people and they're working and they're improving their health before I can, really rep them in a way. So the company did about 15 million in 2017, 32 million in 2018. 51 million in 2019, 62 million in 2020, but just did over 100 million in 2021. We are growing very, very fast. And there is an opportunity attached to the products that we love because of the timing. We're definitely not saturated. We're not a household brand. And yet we have an extensive product line that can really help in a natural, holistic way for children, athletes. A lot of the Park City Olympians are my clients right here. I've got about 56 of them that are either retired athletes, current athletes. A lot of them just came back from the Olympics. And we've got an amazing clientele here that are experiencing incredible testimonies just in my local market, let alone the international market where we're shipping all these products to. I love the fact that we've got absorption as a factor. So there's a lot of health and wellness brands out there. But the one reason that sets us apart from the rest is one word, and it's absorption. We actually have proof that our products cross the blood-brain barrier, and that's really hard to do. And we've got it down to a science. We own our proprietary blends. We own our patented formulations. We own how they're made, that the extraction process as well, on everything from the hemp plant to our, collagen and how they make that. Literally is owned by our company, no white label anywhere else, not sold anywhere else. And it's just really exciting that Q Sciences is the first company to really do this in this space. So it is technically a direct sales arm, whatever you want to call it, network marketing, all that good stuff. However, there's never really been a company ever in this 100-year-old industry that's had each product backed by so much science to where, I give this to our children, of course, and a lot of their, ironically, 7 soccer teammates are sleeping over tonight. Right now downstairs, I was like, I have a presentation and you need to go get lost. But we were thinking, Jessica, John, and I, we were thinking, gosh, these are great products. We want, teams and families to hear about this and know about this before it becomes a household brand. It's on pace to become one within the next 3 to 5 years. I've been a part of companies and I've helped them go from 100 million to $1 billion. I know what happens. You've probably heard of some of the essential oil companies that have had a really big run over the last 12 to 14 years. I know them all and I know what they've done to do that. And they're right here in my own backyard. And we're basically following a lot of that model, but again, backed by science and a lot of innovation. You really cannot find the type of collagen, CBD line, again, supplements, anything that we have, our drinks, anywhere else at all. They're really amazing. Just to give you perspective, vitamin sprays, which I'm going to come to in a minute, are a sublingual absorption, really quick under the tongue. They are fast acting. That's why a lot of people like them in the middle of a game, halftime, before a game. B12 specifically gives burst of energy. All very safe. B12, some people, and for me for years, I tell all my clients, tens of thousands of clients in my gyms, to look into B12 injections, right? Well, at the time, that's all I knew. Science has evolved, and they're saying as high as 40 to maybe even as high as 80% of the world's population that just hasn't been tested, because why would you, actually have a genetic mutation where B12 doesn't absorb into your body at all, an MTHFR genetic mutation. So our company said, we're going to go methylate all of our B12 and be the first to do that, but we're also going to methylate every other ingredient. So anybody, based on whether or not they know they have this gene or not, will be able to absorb, and their liver won't have to work overtime to methylate things like that. So anyhow, that's a little too much information. You don't need to hear all that. Bottom line is, we're the first company, the only company that is really being proactive in making sure that each product ingredient is actually getting absorbed. And that's why we're having such great results. We have tons of testimonies that I could share with anybody that has questions on it. We specifically were thinking that our greens, they kind of come in a little packet that looks like this, and they're on the screen there. They're little drink packets, little powder packets, single-use packets that you just kind of pour into cold water. They actually are greens that kids would drink. They look like this. I'm going to open this bag real quick, just little single serving like this. We actually have quite a few drinks packets like this, so you can take on the go. My kids, my 13-year-old specifically, loves having a little bit of this sport. They have 2 different kinds, 4 kids and 4 adults that have caffeine, or the ones for kids don't have caffeine, but they still have brain function. Again, proof that it's helping optimize brain function. And so love that we have a lot of really great things that are easy to take on the go that work. This sprays, though, I'm telling you, are incredible. Collagen has been really hitting the scene hard lately. So I'll talk about that in a minute too. Our staple supplements are our 4-pack that are pretty much our daily supplements. I wasn't going to talk a whole lot about that today. They do have 36 daily micronutrients, minerals, vitamins, works on gut health, brain health, inflammation, and digesting food. So this is actually an amazing 4-pack for families, adults. Yes, some of the kids don't like swallowing vitamins. I get that. We really want to talk about specific fitness products. So our collagen that we have liquid collagen. We know now it's not a question of whether or not you should have collagen. You absolutely should. It helps with everything in the body in terms of making things not ache, getting through, injury faster, pain faster, things like that. However, we're also seeing that, powdered collagens don't really do anything the way that liquid collagens do. And they're not quite the same when you see a powdered collagen at Costco, unfortunately, versus a liquid collagen like this. We do own, again, this patented, all of our products are. So you won't find it anywhere else. There's a couple liquid collagens out there and they are superior to powdered collagens. This is the only one with 4 different types of collagens in them. There are 10 types of collagens and 4 are used in our products, which the only other competitor out there is 2 collagens and it's twice the price of ours. So we really try to deliver best prices, best options. The Reform pictured in this photo here is more for aging skin, hair, skin, nails, really kind of fine lines and wrinkles and things like that. For the kids, what I've been giving my kids and myself every day is Rebuild. This is really going to work on muscle strengthening, bone. It's just going to make sure that, like, for example, all of our kids have a lot of inflammation and some, pain or achiness, right? Depends on, I guess, how old they are. I don't remember this when they were 5, 6, and 7, but as they grow, they start actually needing to ice after games and things like that. This is going to help a lot faster on just recovering. So the recovery is just really impressive in what these products do. This is just a quick before and after on what our collagen has done for people. I know all of these people in these pictures, so I can, confirm that I know who these are. And then the vitamin sprays, I keep coming back to that because, again, they're just so amazing. The sleep spray is a big seller amongst families as well, because we actually have quite an epidemic happening with children and adults not being able to sleep well. And we all know that you can perform better in school and sports when you do get a rested full night's sleep. So we have just amazing sleep aids. We have a full CBD line as well, with a couple products that work on the sleep and inflammation and things like that. I just love that nobody really has these fast acting, instant benefits. So those are really, really popular. And the reason why this company has really caught the attention of major publications, we're actually going to be featured as the #1 company to partner with in 2022 on a major publication that's going to be announced next month. And it's exciting. But Dr. Stephen Kimberly was the chief editor of WebMD for nearly 15 years. If you don't know what WebMD is, you might want to figure that out. But he completely retired to work Q Sciences full time. He's never been a part of a company like this before in this space, but because our owners are aggressively offering products that no direct sales company has ever offered, he wanted to be a part of the first one that does this. So he's constantly innovating his team with new verticals. I do know we have things coming next month that are being launched. We have about 4 new products that are being launched next month, but that's neither here nor there. I really wanted to specifically talk, and there's options to talking about the business. The reason why we thought the business might be a good option or looking at this is, again, John thought, there's always fundraising that needs to happen within teams. And if you're, having that money and people, if people are in the market for health and wellness, if they're in the market for collagen, if they're in the market for CBD, if they're in the market for sleep aids and energy drinks and things like that, then that money could be spent towards or go towards a team, right? Team of choice. And that's kind of the idea behind that, which I find brilliant. So it's a relatively low startup to have a team have a website, for anybody to have a website, to get started in the company. I personally coach, Jessica personally coaches. We have great and high customer retention because the products do work so well. And there's just really incredible ways, lucrative ways to earn an income with our company. I didn't want to go off too much on the time there. I know time's sensitive. So one of our best sellers with athletes as well will be our Excel CBD muscle cream. We sell a lot of this. We sell a lot of our CBD, you know, hemp products. We have an extensive line. So it's really just kind of finding what the athlete and the team and the family wants. But again, it could be structured to where that team is earning, or somebody's earning and maybe even donating some proceeds, whatever it is. A lot of really great products that we carry for these athletes. This one's really unique because for example, I've known several people that have, you know, gotten sick over the last couple of years. I'm not making any claims, of course, but we've had rave reviews with this little packet of Hydrate and what these do for people. And yeah, it's just been incredible to hear people's testimonies on, yes, there's some CBD in here, but also all the extra, you know, minerals and vitamins that they've added to that product is just really impressive. We don't use any dyes. We don't use any, you know, we use all non-GMO, no synthetics. Everything is extremely safe and extremely effective. And if there's any questions, I can take questions too, Mary Lee, but I just know that people get started on our products and then tell me, I've taken supplements my whole life. I've never felt them. I actually feel these. And that's a pretty cool feeling to be able to know that you are making a difference. And it's just been special to be a part of. So I'm not sure if you normally take questions or not, Mary Lee, or if somebody wants to get back with us to ask questions.
If anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask a question, you're welcome to ask. Also, I think John and Jessica both put links up and phone numbers up too. So
Perfect.
Anybody have any questions right off the bat?
It's a lot of information at once. I know that. We have quite a few now, just recently, more soccer programs, more lacrosse, football, random, you know, different clubs and whatnot contacting us all the time. A lot of professional golfers, athletes. The word is getting out and it's been really exciting. In fact, I was just at the US Open a couple weeks ago, and a couple of the players were wearing Q Sciences gear, you know, on their hats and jackets and things like that. So that was pretty cool to see. So it is happening and it is exciting.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much, John or Jessica.
Yeah,
Do you have anything else to follow up?
Yeah, let me just say one last closing statement, and then you guys can contact Jessica or I at any time. We are, as I mentioned, we are looking for that silver bullet, if there is one. And in what we do, and frankly, knowing what you guys have to do as managers and how difficult it is to balance a budget in a soccer club these days, there are no other clubs in San Diego County that are wearing the Q Science brand. And I believe that from an entrepreneurial perspective, that this product will find its way to you. It will find its way through the channels of soccer. And we're hoping that when it does, that this club can benefit, that you personally can benefit, and that your memberships can have a stronger and more fruitful club. We will be out at the tournament. I'll have a little booth. I don't know what I'll be doing in it necessarily right now, but we'll have a little booth out there alongside the Soccer Loco set up at the TAC Cup. So, you know, please feel free to come by and introduce yourself to me. I like meeting new people. It's kind of my thing. So thank you for allowing us. And I don't know, Jessica, if you have anything else, I will pipe down and mute myself. Thanks.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for your time. I know it's valuable. I know, Marilee, you have a lot to talk about. So thank you for letting us present. Marielle, thank you for popping on here and giving us all your expertise. And my email address and my cell phone number are both in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to email or call me. And I hope to see and meet all of you very soon. So thank you.
And I just wanted to show everybody that if you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage of our website, you can see the Q Science and Soccer Loco banners that are up there. And you can, if you click on either of those, it will take you right to their website. So if you were interested, want to check out some of the products, I've been checking out the products and I'm excited, Jessica. I'm going to be calling you.
I'd love to talk to you.
I like that collagen. You know, I'm not getting younger.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Hi, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. So I have a number of slides that I want to go through, and I want to do some training on the system because I know a lot of people are entering tournaments. We're going to be starting the season up pretty soon, and most of you have gone through the requirements that you have as managers. But I just wanted to quickly go through how to log into the system, show you some screens, and then kind of do it for you so that everybody is familiar with it, because you're going to be asked to produce rosters. Some of these tournaments are doing online check-in now, and so you're going to be asked to produce an official roster, copies of player cards and things like that. So I want to show you where you can do all that easily, and also guide you to where the SoCal website is and give you some other information that you can pass on to your families. So the login is, most of you have done this, but you've logged in, you used your password, and you've done your certifications. I think we're still tracking down a couple of people that haven't, but thank you for doing that. I know that it's not easy to get all that done, and it does take some time, but these certifications are requirements, not from us, but from US Club and from also the state and federal guidelines that we have to follow. So everyone is doing them, not just our club, but all clubs, team managers, coaches are having to do this. So I don't want you to feel like we're making you do something that the rest of the soccer world is not doing, at least here in San Diego. So I'm just going to go to the slides, and then I'll log in. I'll show you how to log into the system using mine, but all of you should be familiar with this. And I would say you should probably bookmark this page if you haven't already, because this is the login page for Got Sport, where your players are rostered to. And this is the official application that we use for registering players, producing player cards, and your rosters. So you would log into this page, and you can see up here, here's the login, and it was also on one of the earlier slides. And the first thing that's going to come up when you log in is your account page, which kind of is going to show your name, you can update any of this information at any time. And you've got all of these little buttons up at the top, and then you also have this left-hand navigation that takes you to different places. So when you get here, when you log in, this is the page that's going to come up. So most of you, if you've been doing your requirements, should have seen this page. And if you then click on dashboard, you click on the dashboard, this is the page then that comes up and shows you what your requirements are and whether you fulfilled them or not. So it's pretty easy to see what you have and what you haven't. And just so you understand, rolling means it's something that rolls over from year to year. Once you've done it, you don't have to do it again. So both the heads up concussion and the sudden cardiac arrest are rollovers. Once you've done them now and you fulfilled them, you don't have to do them again. The background check, the safe sport, the disqualification, suspension. Now, this is my dashboard. So I also have a coaching license. So that's why you see this. And this registration status refers to something for me as the admin for the club. So you won't see those two things, but you will see these top 5 things. So the disqualification, suspension, and the background check, if you did them last year, we're good for this year. They're now going to start requiring the background check every year. So everybody will have to do the background check again next year. The disqualification and suspension is supposed to be every 2 years. So if you just did it for the first time this year, you shouldn't have to do it next year. But those of us that did it last year will probably have to redo it again next year. These again are US club requirements or state and federal requirements. So, and if you're looking to find out what to do for each of these, this details column here on the side is what you would click to find out what you need to do. So I think, Jennifer, I think I pulled from your account again, because I'm one other account on some of these, but for the Safe Sport, this is the screen you should see when you click on the details. This is what would come up. And then you would then click on Start Course, and it will start from within this. And it gives you a window that comes up that you can then start the Safe Sport. The same with the concussion certification. When you log in, you click Launch Heads Up, and it will launch for you and you can start it. Oh, I got these kind of out of order. So this is the concussion. When you click Start Course, this is the screen that would, the window that would pop up, and you just click the Start Training. But I think most of you have already done this, so I'm just kind of going through it quickly. For the sudden cardiac arrest, they don't link you to anything, so you would have to click on this to take the course. So that would then, that link will take you to where you take the course. And then once you've completed it, you come back and you click Submit New Report. Yeah, I don't have anything on it. You submit new report, and then it will have you upload the certificate. Again, that then shows that you fulfilled that. The background check, this is, you start that by Submit New Report. And then this is the window that comes up after you fill out the quick little information and pay the $18. This is then the second part that pops up. That's the actual background check. You would just click Continue and fill out the form. And the disqualification suspension review is just a little 2-minute form that they have you fill out. Just submit new report, fill that out, and you're good to go with that. So again, once you've fulfilled everything, this is what it looks like, and it shows green fulfilled on there. The reason that I asked everybody to wait on the Safe Sport till after June 1st was because it does have to be fulfilled every year. And June 1st was the date for which we could first start taking the Safe Sport for either the initial course or the one to three refreshers. So now that we've all done Safe Sport, you'll either have Refresher 1, Refresher 2, or Refresher 3 next year. If you took Refresher 3 this year, then we get to start all over again and take the initial course going forward. If you want to see, and it's always a good idea to check if you want to see if your son or daughter is attached to your record. If you click on family, it will show you who is attached to your family. So here, this is Jennifer's. I took some screenshots last year, so it's showing her son Cooper is attached to hers. If you go in and you click on family and you don't see that you have any children attached to you, you should probably let us know, because we need to make sure that your kids are attached to your record. So you can let myself or Leslie know, and we can look into that. Again, if you click on Cooper's name, it then brings up his account page. And you can see what if he's done his birth certificate, if he's been approved by looking at documents. Can see his little picture. You would actually upload the picture here. You can edit it, so you just get the headshot. If you look at his forms, it shows here that he's been approved, his proof of birth, and that he's been, his R002 form, or the medical release form, has been approved. And then if you go back into your dashboard again and you go across the top, you'll see there's a button called Team Management. And if you click on Team Management, management, that's where it's going to show the team or teams that you are managing. So if you want to see then the roster for that team, you click on the green and it will bring up this window. And from this window, you can see the roster, any registrations that you have through GOT Sports. So for example, the Attack Summer Classic, I think the Coastal Classic, Carlsbad Cup, there's several tournaments that that our teams have been entering in that have used GOT Sport. If you click on that team registrations, it'll show you a list of the tournaments that are at least using GOT Sport that you're entered in. So here you can see it lists, when you click on rosters, this is from last year, but now for this year, you would click on SoCal 22-23, as I say over here, and it will bring up your team roster that you'll be using for the SoCal, SoCal in the fall. One of the drop downs on here would be the Attack Summer Classic, so you could click on that and it would bring up the roster for your Attack Summer Classic if you want to check that. When these tournaments that use GOT Sport ask you to submit a roster, that's what they're asking for. And from here, you would be able to add loan players or anyone else that you need to add. If you're borrowing players from another team, this is where you would do it under Add Player. So here's just a little more of a close-up, and this is for this year. So under selected event roster, which is this right up here, you would click on 22-23, and if you want to get an official roster or you want to see ID cards, you would click on either one of these buttons, and this is what's going to come up. So you would get a PDF of all your player cards. So rather than having to make a copy, put them down on a scanner and scan them all in, you could just use these PDFs that will come up. And then this is what the roster your official roster would look like. And when they ask you for team number, I know a few of the registrations ask for team number. This is where you would find that team number on this official roster. So any questions on any of that? I'm going to go through it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of show you live. So this is my account that I'm logged into. So I have a lot of things that I get to see as an admin that you don't. So it's a little misleading. You won't see all of these. But if you click on dashboard, this is where you see all the different things, the different certifications that you need. And clicking on details brings this up. Now it doesn't let me launch because I've already completed it for this year. It's already approved. So none of these for me would really show you how to do anything because they've already been fulfilled. You go under team management. So I'm technically listed as the team manager for this little boys attack 15 white team. So if I click on that, again, it brings up this window that shows the team. If I go here and I click on rosters and I use this drop down, I can see Attack Summer Classic here. If I click search, this is going to show me my roster for the Attack Summer Classic. And here I can add a Club Pass player, which would be a player from within the club or a guest player by just clicking here, putting their name in and doing a search. But you do have to have the date of birth because it's going to check the system to see if they're in there. And if they're not, then they will let you add them. And again, if I go here to documents and IDs, I can click roster PDF. And it brings up my roster. So I can just download it, save it, and attach it if I'm asked to submit it, or if I go back here and I print ID cards. Again, it brings up the ID cards. So you can save that and submit it as well for any of these tournaments that request online check-in. If I go under team registrations, I can see all the different things that this team is currently registered to. So right now they're registered to the Attack Summer Classic and they're registered to the SoCal League. And again, here you can click on any of these and it would bring up the roster for any of these events. Most of your rosters are going to be sourced from this particular roster because that's what you'll be using for the fall. So I know that's pretty quick, but I think a lot of you are probably familiar with it, but I did want to show you where you can go to look at your roster, to look at your players, and to print a roster if you need to for any of these tournaments that you're entering. And the tournament should also be sending you out emails telling you what to do, but I know some of them are not as good at communicating as they should be. So I wanted to show you guys where to get to it and how to do it. And if you have any questions trying to get into it, give me or Leslie a call and we can guide you through it and help you with it. I wanted to show you the SoCal website. SoCal is the league that all our teams will be playing in the fall. Now they've redone their website since last year, so it looks a little different than it did, but this is the link. And again, this is another one you should bookmark because this is where you'll be going to look at your schedule, to look at the standings during the fall. So this is the homepage. Under Resource Center is where you would see things like the rules, what the referee fees will be, things like that. And I'll guide you to that as we get closer. But I just wanted to introduce you to the site so you know where to go. One thing they did come out with just a few days ago, so I wanted to pass it on so that I know I'm already getting questions about, are we going to be playing on Sundays and what dates are we going to be playing? So they put this out. And so you need to remember that we talk about youngers and olders. So we have our younger teams are considered our 7v7 and our 9v9, but we also have two age groups that are in youngers, which are the 09s and the 2010s that are 11 aside. So both of these groups will have 12 games this season. There are a couple of weekends and you can see it's a little different for each of these groups. There's a couple weekends in here where you will have Saturday, Sunday games, but those are the only 2 weekends. So unlike last year where we seemed to have a lot of Sunday games, it's a 12-game season and you will only, according to this schedule, have 2 Sunday games. The only reason that could potentially change is if there are coaching conflicts that we have to take care of and maybe a Saturday game has to get moved to a Sunday or vice versa, but you'll never have 2 games in one day during the fall season. So these are the play dates that they've announced. You can see over here on this Olders High School one, there are a couple of dates that are where the weekends are different, where they have Saturday, Sunday games than over here. But these two, I think, are pretty much the same. For the Olders, the high school kids, they will only have 10 games, and that's the 2008 and older. They will only have a 10-game season. And if you look, most of their games are going to be on Sunday. The reason being, a lot of these test dates that they observe are on Saturdays throughout their season. And they try not to schedule these high school teams on Saturday test dates because so many kids are taking tests and they don't get done till 2 o'clock. So most of these dates here are Sundays due to test dates and also because there are a lot of problems with kids having high school events like homecoming on a Saturday night. And so if they have a Saturday game, you have some forfeits because they can't get enough kids out because they're getting ready to go to homecoming or some high school event. So most of these olders will be playing on Sundays. Most of their games will be on Sundays. So I'll be sending these slides. I'll PDF the slides and send them out. And then I will also upload this meeting once we're done and I stop the recording. I'll upload it to our YouTube channel, and I'll send out the links so that you guys can get these dates out to your families. You can put them on TeamSnap now as TBDs if you want to, because the working schedule won't come to me until August 1st, and then I'll have 2 weeks to work on it, and then we'll have another week to work out conflicts. So the official schedule probably won't be released until right before Labor Day, or late September, late August or early September. But if you wanted to kind of TBD these dates so that your parents can do some planning, just make sure they know that there's no time involved in these yet because they have not been scheduled. Those are just the play dates that games will be scheduled on. Leslie, you want to talk about uniforms a little bit?
Hi, Marilee, can I ask a question? real quick?
Absolutely.
I just logged into my SoCal account and it looks like it's still the roster from last season. Does that automatically get updated, or do we have to update that on our own?
If I can't see your screen, Lulu, I don't know. It should not be because it's all updated. No, you cannot update the rosters on GOT Sport. They're locked and those can only be updated by Leslie or myself.
Oh, I'm talking about the SoCal website.
Oh, so that website has not updated anything yet.
Okay.
That,
And do you guys update that, or do
no,
we?
no, they will update it.
Okay, got it. Thank
They
you.
will update that. I probably am a little premature, but I just wanted you guys to know where that website is so you can look at it. Because they've also put up information about State Cup, and I know a lot of teams are interested in State Cup. So if you actually go to their website, this is the home page. If you click on this, it brings up the SoCal, the State Cup play dates, and also talks a little about the different types of cups that they're going to have. So they have for Flight 1, they have the Super Cup, for Flight 2 Elite, Flight 3 Classic, and Flight 4 Premier. So I don't believe that they've really updated any of this stuff at this point. This is still Spring League and stuff. So they haven't started putting anything up yet because they're still working on a schedule and still working out the seating. So I wouldn't look to that, but if you want the fall program information that I just talked to you about, they have some nice little slides if you wanted to download those, but it basically gives the same type of information. And I can attach those to my email that I send out tomorrow so you can see that. But they haven't updated any of this yet. And they update that. We don't have any control over this site or what goes up on it. So they will update that. Okay, Leslie.
Okay, great. So I know we've sent out a couple emails, but I just want to make sure that as many of you have heard it as possible. I know that some of the uniform new kits are kind of trickling in. So for teams that have tournaments coming up, maybe some of their players don't have their whole kits, we just need you to know that you can wear your old and new kits right now. They are a little bit different. The logos are different. The styling's a little bit different, but they are basically the same colors. So for now, what I would suggest is kind of asking your returning players to wear their old kits if they don't have their new one yet. And then any new players, find out if they have their kits. If they don't, and your tournament's coming up a week or two away, maybe 2 weeks away, keep me posted on that, because we only have a certain number of loaner jerseys, maybe 2 or 3 in each size, if we're lucky. And so I will be happy to loan them out, but if I loan them out to you, what you need to do is collect them at the field after your last game. So make sure they bring a shirt to change into, and then you're welcome to wash it. But if not, I don't care. I just need them back that Monday, the day after your tournament. So Marilee and I will be working in the office quite a bit now through the end of the tournament. So if I know you're going to be returning some jerseys, I'll have you do that to the office. So we'll set up a time to meet there if we're not going to be there for a long amount of time. So again, we do have some loaner jerseys, happy to loan them out, but I have to have them back that next Monday because I need to allocate them for other teams for the following weekend. Okay. Same thing with player cards. If any of you, I know this isn't uniforms, but it goes along with tournaments. If you're borrowing players from other teams, from our own teams, then I can get you, I can coordinate that for you, getting the medical release and the player card for that weekend, but we'll need that back that next Monday, right after the tournament. Okay. The other thing to keep in mind, if your coach is borrowing any players from other clubs for a tournament, same thing, happy to loan you the jerseys for them. I just need a size. But you also need to make sure they have the new player card with their medical release, because tournaments, they'll let you kind of squeak by on some of the uniform stuff, but they will not let you mix last year's cards and this year's cards. So keep that in mind. Okay, any questions on any of that? Oh, I have one other thing. So if you get some new players onto your team, Marilee or I have to set them up in soccer.com to invite them to order their uniform. So please email me with the number you're giving that player so I can set them up and then put the number in there and send them an invite to order their uniform kit. Otherwise, they won't know to order their uniform kit. Okay, thanks. You're muted, Marilee. There you go.
Yeah, Julie, I think the reason you're not showing up is because we haven't added you as a manager to that team. We need to add Julie May to the Boys 07 Green Team as a manager, Leslie.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a reminder about goalkeeper training. Please make sure you've told your players that are goalkeepers or want to be goalkeepers about the training. Michael does a great job with this goalkeeper training, and it would be great to get lots of people out there for his training. So if you have somebody that's interested, please, his contact information is right here. So please send him an email and let him know, and let the player know. This is the times for the different age groups as to when they should go for the training. And the training is on Friday afternoons at Nativity. So. So that's all I have.
Hey, Leslie, it's Al Lindbergh.
Hi, Al.
Hey, since you mentioned the goalkeeper training, I just wanted to add, Michael is out of town, so there will be no goalkeeper training on Friday this week.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. I was going to mention that his grandfather passed away and he had to go out of town for the memorial service. So there won't be training tomorrow, but next week and throughout the fall, there will be training. Again, Nativity on Friday afternoons. So thanks, Al, for that.
No problem.
Okay, any questions, anybody? We're up
Can
to about,
backup goalkeepers go to this?
go ahead, what? Sorry, Lulu.
Can backup goalkeepers go?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
It's, there's no charge for this. It's included as part of the registration fee. So backup goalkeepers, regular goalkeepers, somebody that just wants to try it out, are welcome to attend. So. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming. Again, I will send out the recording and I will PDF these slides and send them out along with a couple of other attachments. And looking forward to seeing you guys. Like Leslie said, we will have office hours next week. What did we say? Monday, 1 to 4, Leslie? 1 to 4, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday next week, if you need to come by the office and get your player cards or pick up loaner jerseys or drop loaner jerseys off. One of us will be there next week, every day, Monday through Thursday, 1 to 4. All right, thank you. Have a great evening.